All right. Tonight on If You Want a special guest, Aaron Chaney, friend. I said that right? Right, Aaron Chaney, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were asking about friend.
No.
I was like, whoa, that's rude.
No, you have a show DJing tonight down at the Roost, so you blessed us with an hour of your time before you get to go set up. So
Yes, sir.
we'll try not to go over an hour, but I can't always promise that we don't a little bit.
It's
so.
all right. We'll make it work.
So, let's see, Aaron. I'm going to start here. Did you grew up here? Did you always live here?
Yeah, I grew up. I was actually born in Fairfax.
Okay, you might
So-
want to get closer into that just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Fairfax, but I moved away for a few years. Kind of moved around a lot when I was younger,
Okay,
but this is my hometown. So
that's what I thought. Okay, because I'm trying to remember. You are. I can't remember how much older you are than me.
I was 04.
Okay, all right. So you were in 04. So I would have been in 8th grade whenever you were a senior.
Yeah, I'm the old man.
Huh?
I'm the old man.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, and I always remember you being here, being around, and at least through high school or whatever.
yeah.
So, but I would have been pretty young. But one thing I like to ask: so, how long did you live here, and then did you just go from here to Council Bluffs, or
No, so I lived in Tarkio, and then I also have my biological dad lives down in the Marshall area,
Okay,
and so I kind of was between my mom's and my dad's.
gotcha.
So I lived down there for part of my life, and then up here as well. So
Okay, so and then eventually, I don't. What year did you settle up in
Council Bluffs? Gosh,
It's been quite a while.
it would have been around 2005.
Oh my. Okay, longer than I thought.
Yeah,
actually.
I came back here. So I come back here a couple different times. When my middle son was born, I lived here for about 6 months. Was going to try to buy a house down here, and then it fell through. And then when my mom passed away a few years ago, I came back down here to help my dad to be down here with my dad and my siblings and stuff
Yeah.
down here to get through that time.
Gotcha.
And then moved back to Council Bluffs. So that's where my kids and all that are up there. So
So you're in Council Bluffs now?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah. When he was like, well, he's got to come down, I was like, I
Yeah.
thought he was local.
No, well, we'll get into that in a minute. So the first question I want to ask, though, so you've actually, this is even more fun. So you've been in and out, largely close to the area, but you don't live here anymore. I like to ask everybody that grew up here at least, when you come back, does it seem like it changes a lot? Or
Oh, yeah.
are you here enough that it seems kind of
It's-
the same?
Some things are the same.
Yeah.
But it's just you can tell a difference. You
Yeah.
can definitely tell like I don't know, the vibe, I guess maybe.
Sure.
But just we're getting older though. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? So as we're getting older, it doesn't matter. But the town itself, I mean, it's changing too.
It
So,
changes.
yeah.
Do you think the vibe is different as like you age, as in like you aren't that excited to like pound a bunch of beers till like 5 a.m. with
Well, yeah, because
people?
when you get my age, when you pound a bunch of beers till 5 a.m., it takes you about a week to recoup. So
Yeah.
Or longer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
no, it's just when you're younger, when I'd come back into town, I'd cruise down Main Street and I'd see all my buddies,
Mm-hmm.
And now when I'm driving down Main Street, at 10 o'clock at night, it's
Nobody's
not the
there.
same anymore.
It's not even high school.
No.
Yeah,
anymore.
it is weird. There's no high school.
Yeah, it's just
like,
nobody does it, and it's like, and what sucks is a lot of it is the whole technology thing. Nobody wants to do anything like that anymore because they got, video games or they're on their phones or whatever. Just nobody's out doing outdoor stuff anymore
No, you
There's
can
not.
you can essentially socialize from
from home.
your house.
Yep.
Why do anything when porn's 1 second away?
Right? That's facts.
It was just like they said on TED. You're always one click away from big black cock.
Yeah. During COVID, did you get that thing going around with the guy at the edge of the bed?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You'll appreciate this, and I don't. If he probably never listens, but they got Richie Comstock a lot with that.
Okay.
Like, because you get like the text messages there for a while. They'll be like, UPS has like a package that can't be delivered. Click on this tracking link to figure out where your package is, and you click on it, and it's the guy on the side of the bed with his penis out. And oh my God, look at what they did to me again.
That's hilarious.
It's like, God damn, you're the only guy still falling for that.
Again.
But no, so I find in talking to people that we grew up with, plus or minus, basically the span that you're in high school, at least for me. So like plus or minus, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, either way.
Yeah.
That we've talked to, they actually, and even like Dustin, who moved away, they actually, when we asked him that question, like, yeah, it changes a lot. But like for me and Kiefer, we're like, we don't feel like it does, like at all. Like you're just kind of stuck, stranded in time.
I mean, Tarkio will always be Tarkio.
Yeah.
It just is. And for what's the crazy thing for a lot of people, they just can't get away from it. Like they go and they always come back, and for me, that was a situation of when I was younger, I was always like, I want to get out and venture out. There's a world outside of Tarkio, and there's just so many people that, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just people, when they rooted, with their family being here, they didn't want to venture out. Like even when they went to college, they came back here and did, teaching or pharmacy or, the wind farms or, there's a lot of different things they can do. They can work in Shenandoah, whatever. But, there's also people that like Jessie, she's all the way out in California, Not that I'm far away, but, I'm
It's
over
a
an
big
hour away.
difference
And I
here
live in
to there.
Tarkio is what, 1,200 people.
Right. Yeah.
Where I live at is,
now
like
we're
70,000.
1585.
Oh, it went up again.
We're doing good.
Dang.
Yeah.
I knew for a long time though that it was declining though.
Yeah, I think the highest that I remember being able to see the sign and comprehend what it was telling me was about 17 something.
Really?
And that was, I'm trying to remember what year that would have been. Probably would have been after this closed. For sure, but then it did get down. You're right. It did get down to about 1300.
It was like 1,200.
But then we all started reproducing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I was here, it'd go up by like 10.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were actually gonna proposition that you move back because we need the numbers.
Got to get
We'd
right
like,
over
We'd
that.
like to get to over 1,600.
Yeah.
And you told me before your son's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
And is going to go to state and wrestling.
going to.
I think we want him down here for sports.
I know, right?
All sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Collingham still coaching?
I think so. The short answer is no. At one time, he was still helping. Though.
Right. See, he was my coach.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys wrestled or not, but
We did not. But it was him part of when I was in high school, and then Kurt Sloop took over art and the wrestling coach, and then I don't know who does it now.
Oh, I have no
I
idea.
should know, but I can't remember who it is.
Dude, Collingham was one of the greatest coaches ever, but he was a hard ass. He was that he pushed you to your absolute limit. So I was actually telling my son about it. He's like, "Oh, my coach this, my coach that." I said, "He's not there to be your friend. He's there to push you to your ability of what you're capable of." And now he's doing gym and this and that. And I'm telling you, man, he's a strong kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is just strong. All the kids he wrestles, their matches are over within like a minute. And I'm like, "Good Lord, kid."
Yeah.
Which I love because, like I said, I wrestled. I did the state wrestling and all that stuff. But for him, and he's just going undefeated at 13 years old. He's been wrestling since he's 4 years old, and he's just walking around with the what is it, the cool thing now, the tight curl mullet thing that's super in. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing. He's got blonde hair, and he's just walks around like he's cock of the walk.
Shaved on the sides.
Shaved on the side. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
the Patrick Mahomes haircut that he
pretty
just
much.
got rid of.
Yeah, right?
It's gonna be eating your ass just a little bit.
Yeah, I know,
Quit
man.
looking like that punk.
Oh my god, dude!
If
I told him I was gonna smack the curls out of his hair one day.
Could you show him a picture of John Elway and be like, this
mullet is better than that mullet.
And also, this is in style now. I see plenty of kids with this again.
Yeah.
With him like running through kids, do you like, as a dad and like wanting to see him like compete, are you like fingers crossed when you go to a meet that like somebody's gonna like make him go the full time?
I'm just waiting for somebody to give him that what's that called? Adjustment or humble him. I'm waiting for
Humble
somebody.
him?
I am.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
and I'm his dad.
Yeah.
This is coming from his dad. I'm
Right.
like, I told him, I said, Bear, because I call him Coda Bear. I always have since he was little. Or I just call him Bear now. But I said, listen, dude. I said, you're doing good. You're kicking ass. That's amazing. I said, but you're going to come across that one kid, and he's going to humble your ass.
But
And he's going to put you down. So just when you go in there, don't go in there underestimating because you're doing good, because there's going to be that one kid that's just going to squat you flat.
Yeah.
I'm not from Tarkio. I play Fairfax, so like we did sports. Craig Fairfax.
Yeah.
We sucked.
Really? Yeah,
We'd
I remember that.
Well, we weren't all that great here either.
We'd win.
Basketball was okay.
We'd
some
win
years.
one game, and then the next game, like the whole week at practice, we were just cock of the walk. Like,
yeah.
we're gonna
though.
kick the shit out of Rockport this next Friday.
Yeah. So like for us, when I was younger, when I played, our juggernaut was South Harrison, man. Like I swear to you, like it didn't matter how many games you'd win. You go to South Harrison, and those guys were like 7 feet tall and like 8 feet wide, and just
They had 4 teams on the sideline.
yeah. And we had like all of our players on the field, so we didn't have very many reserves. So when they're mowing us over like a Mack truck, it's like, good Lord.
Yeah.
They'd sub 1 8-foot guy out for a 7'5", you know. It's
Yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah, they regularly had like offensive linemen that went on to Mizzou.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe that. Yeah. I remember seeing there was one guy that actually plays in and I can't remember his name, but he plays in the NFL now. That he was and it was my year, or it was a year before or something like that, or he played. I don't know if he does anymore.
Yeah, there's like Tyler Llewellyn.
Yeah, that's the kid right there.
There was some Madison kids, and there was like 3 or 4 or 5 of them just bang, 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 all spread out.
I mean, they're still good though. They
had
still
to
have
play,
guys
yeah.
like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When we were in high school, we were playing Tarkio in Fairfax. I think it was our homecoming or something.
Yeah.
And Mikey Edelman was playing for Tarkio. And our football coach, like part-time coach, wrestling at Tarkio. And so like all summer he was dealing with Mikey like wrestling. And they were kicking our ass, and Mikey picked a ball off from like the 10-yard line, ran by, and Corrington's on the sideline, screaming, and Mikey goes, high five, and high fives our coach. And Corrington was just the assistant coach. At halftime, we were in the ag room. His face was bright red. Spit was going everywhere. He goes, Mikey Edelman? Why is he high-fiving me? And he was screaming. And
That's a question for him, Coach.
And I knew Mikey, and I was like, if I was in Mikey's shoes, I would have high-fived him too.
Oh, yeah.
And I started giggling, and then Corrington like ran up to me and was like yelling at me. He's, you think this is funny, getting your ass kicked on homecoming, 40-0, and his spits hit my face. And that made me laugh even more because I was grossed out.
South Harrison was always a juggernaut. West Platte, so Weston, and they were always ridiculously good too.
There was another one that used to be pretty good.
Princeton,
or no, was it?
but they weren't necessarily any bigger than we were. They had a really good program. It got to, by the time I was playing, it was pretty regular that we were getting scheduled for their homecomings. And I shit you not, my sophomore year,
It's a bummer.
My sophomore year, they were up like 50-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
And in 11-man, you don't get to throw in the towel at
Oh,
halftime. You have to finish.
That sucks.
So a lot of times they just put out like their freshman team. But they literally, for their halftime show, as bad as they were kicking our ass, and we were like trying to go like down into the end zone to have like our halftime huddle, they literally blared Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue and drove 2 Harleys in the football field and around it, and then drove it back out, and that was like their big halftime show, and like it was just so demoralizing.
Oh, I bet.
It's I mean, if it was 20-0, okay, but it's literally 50-0.
Yeah.
That's some shit right there.
Yeah.
Like don't just rub it in, just
yeah.
rub it all the way in.
Oh yeah, it was rough. It was one of the roughest things I've ever been a part of.
I bet, man. I bet that was a long trip home, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always a long trip from fucking Princeton. I mean,
Yeah, that's a long drive.
it is a long drive.
But it makes it worse when you get the shit kicked out of you, though.
Yeah,
I can imagine that.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
So yeah, good. We talked about sports a little bit. I was gonna, I guess I'll shift gears unless you guys have any other thoughts, real quick. But
My mind's racing.
okay, so let's reel it back in.
I have ADHD, so we can touch on all of them at the same time.
Good.
Right, it's
I
perfect.
mean, if you have that, you might understand, I guess.
So I don't know. I don't know if you knew this, Kiefer, if you've ever heard us talk about it, but I think Aaron, you asked us to play in your yard for a party one time, which had to have been like
That was
our
like one of your
second,
first or second
third,
shows.
fourth show somewhere in there.
Yep.
So that's where like we kind of formed a relationship outside of just going to the same high school. a
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay.
And so we played back there, and then Aaron did some other shows with us and asked us to some other shows.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we built the relationship. I'm trying to think though. By the time you came around, is the only time we played doing something for Aaron at his mom's funeral.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that
The
was
benefit
before
of
that was always Tyler, I think. But if I remember correctly, and totally correct me if I'm wrong because it's been so much time and I forget. But you are now DJing, but originally you used to like to play guitar and sing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I
and
played
still
in a
do.
few bands. I still play. I pick around every once in a while.
Yeah.
I have a lot of buddies up in Council Bluffs that are like they've been trying their asses off to get me to play in their bands or do like
Yeah.
the 2-man shows with them, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, like on the weekends, it's just
You're
I don't
too
have
busy.
time because
Yeah.
I don't have. And then during the week, I'm always trying to spend time with my kids or my lady.
Right.
And so I just
Aw.
the time in itself. Well, and not only that, but I'm a gamer. I like to play Call of Duty. Too. So I'd rather be raging and killing people. Than
Call of
I'm
Duty's
just-
not tarnished for you.
not yet.
What
I
you
mean,
could do,
it's
like-
getting there. It's getting there because of all the cheat. The cheating
Yeah.
is just getting terrible.
We can
man.
talk about that. in
Yeah,
a
that's a
minute.
good subject.
Go
Yeah.
ahead if you want. Go ahead.
But-
I can reel us back in when it's time. Don't worry.
I can't play Warzone anymore. It's
Dude,
stupid.
okay, so I love Warzone.
Yeah, same.
I love Warzone. I'm not a multiplayer guy at all. Like
Yeah.
I can't do the zombies. Like everybody's always like, "Hey, let's go grind some zombies." And I'm like, I don't want to play for 2.5 hours in one thing just to get whatever when I can do. So I like playing boot camp. It's less sweaty. It
Well,
still gets sweaty.
you get
at
the
end, but-
AIs and the real people.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And
too.
originally it was like half and half, like half of the AIs and half people. But now because so many people are playing it,
Yeah.
they've broken it down to where there's only like I think 2 or 4 squads of like the AIs or whatever
Dumb.
now. But the way they're doing it now is that they. So you know how it's a skill based or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how they're making the AIs now too. So they take what they're doing is taking the overall skill of your squad.
Yeah.
So like a lot of my guys are like 150 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to prestige up because I
Yeah.
suck at it. I'm like the old man gamer. I like sit there and I'm like, you fucking cheater. You're cheating your ass off. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then they're like, Aaron, bro, he's just good. I'm like, whatever. He's cheating. I'm reporting
Aaron,
him.
that's an AI bot.
Yeah. So, it's a bot, bro. But like, I don't know. I'm not that great, but
Yeah.
I like to play the game.
I don't-
And so,
They make it so hard
They
for it
do.
to be enjoyable because they let so much slide.
well, so you got the streamers.
Yeah.
That have all the PC shit, which in my opinion, I don't think Call of Duty should be a PC game at all. I think it should be
No,
a console
console.
only game. And the reason why I say that is if it's just ridiculous what they can do on PC. Like the movements, the guns, the aim assist and all that is just, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's to a point to where like if I go up against a PC player, even if he's just a basic PC player and he's a prestige any level at my base or higher, he's shitting all over me.
Well, when your PC's processing 1,000 times faster than Xbox or PlayStation,
Yeah.
you don't really stand a chance,
Yeah.
and that sucks.
Yep, and I mean even my latency is like almost 0. So
Yeah.
I know it's not a latency thing, and I know my skill set, like I said, is not that
Yeah.
great. But like when you're just getting shit on, and I watch, they have the videos all over TikTok and the
Yeah.
YouTube Reels or Facebook Reels and whatnot. So I'll get bored and I'll just watch those. I'm like, okay, how can I get better? Okay, what class is going to be great? Da-da-da-da-da.
Always changing your settings.
And it's like everything I do, it doesn't. Okay, it might micro
yeah.
tiny bit. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Or I'll find a gun that like the Lockman Shroud. Okay,
Yeah.
that gun I just put the aftermarket pieces on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm lasering people. The next day I use it, dude, and I just got shit on by everybody. I'm like, I just put this together. So it's a daily thing for me. Like
Yeah.
I do my daily stuff with my kids or my lady, and then like evening
Aw.
time is my chill time to
Yeah.
sit there and rage out for the night, get my blood pressure up, and go to bed and
Yeah.
not have a heart attack. You know.
The perfect time to go to sleep right after that.
Ever since they changed the map from Verdansk
Yeah,
to this new
Verdansk is
one.
coming back.
Is it?
Yes, next it's April. I think like the second week of April.
They still let them ruin it.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
I think that they need to get rid of Ricochet and
Yeah.
whoever did this season, because there's like 3 of them, they battle each
Yeah.
other. One selling cheats to the other one, and they do that back and forth thing. If they were smart and they really wanted to make money, they should all come together
Yeah.
and make one and work together to keep all the cheaters and the hackers out of there. And
Well-
then we'd all like to play it again. Because whenever GTA comes out,
Everybody's
Dude.
gone.
yeah, especially
If you have the space to
the
download
only
it.
thing that's going to save their ass is to fix all the cheaters, the streamers that are doing what they're doing. They have to do something because if they don't, Call of Duty is going to die. Multiplayer's not going to save it.
Well, they dropped like 65% of their
Yeah.
players in like the past couple of
yeah,
months.
they were saying that. What was it? Oh gosh, I can't remember what the percentage was, but I know that there was only like
I can look it up.
40,000 players playing at one point, which is really, really bad.
It's nothing
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
super bad. They've lost like
in the
100.
world.
Yeah, It's just because you can't get like you drop into Warzone and you're literally dying before you hit the ground sometimes. And in multiplayer, they're having players that are like
That sounds just like real war.
yeah, they're camping their respawns, which I don't know if you know anything about it, but these guys are just they're finding out where the respawns are at and they're just camping it and just kill. They're getting like 200 kills in a freaking multiplayer match.
From October, they were at 300,000, and now they have dropped to less than 60.
Yeah, I told you. So
That
I'm
is
just about right on the money there.
Yeah.
But like I said though, but who? Okay, us average Joes that just like to get on to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not fun for us
No.
when we can't even play a whole match without. I mean, especially if you're doing like a BR.
Yeah.
You're getting down, you're dying. If you lose in the gulag, you're done for the match till hopefully one of your players buys you back. And if
Yeah.
you're with a bunch of randoms, you're just done.
That
in
don't have
30
mics,
seconds.
yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just it sucks for that game. That's the only game I like literally. So we were talking about COVID earlier.
Uh-huh.
So COVID happened. Okay, I'm a DJ, so clearly couldn't work. Thankfully,
Yeah.
I had some money saved up.
Yeah.
I think it was like $5,000 or something like that I had put away, but it was just me and my kids were with their moms.
Yeah.
So I just
Helps.
bought an Xbox,
Yeah.
downloaded Call of Duty, smoked a lot of pot, and
Yeah.
just became a gamer for like however many months it was that I
Yeah.
couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I did a little bit of the like Facebook Lives trying to just have some fun with it, you know,
Yeah.
but there was no interaction. You couldn't do anything. COVID was horrible.
And everybody was trying to do it too.
Yeah, and so I just, like I said, there was interaction with people, and it was fun, and I could kill people. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been grinding Rainbow Six Siege
Yeah.
lately.
So there's a new one. What's it called? Give me a second here, if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
It is called.
My involvement of Call of Duty.
Check
ended-
out Off the Grid. That's a new one coming out, and it's supposed to be. It's like a cross between GTA and Call of Duty.
Wow.
So it looks pretty cool. I've not gotten to play it yet. That's the next one that I'm checking out though.
Nice.
So yeah, they do have trailers for it and everything.
Is that third person?
I'm not 100% on it.
It reminds
Somebody was trying to say it was like a pay to play, but I don't think it is because I know on Xbox when I was downloaded it was free to play, but I have an old Xbox. I got to get a new one.
Yeah.
So
It reminds me of what's that game? It's free on Xbox. It's a shooter game, shooter up.
Battlefield.
No, it's like a Warzone. You drop in. It's kind of space.
Gears of
age.
War?
No.
I'm really out of the
Oh
loop.
my
I shouldn't
gosh!
even guess.
I would play it with Jonah all the time.
Yeah. Battlefield.
Apex.
Yeah,
Apex,
like-
Apex
yeah,
Legends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a big one that a lot of the players that I started playing in 2019, and over the years, a lot of players have just stopped playing, or they'll hop in every once in a while, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I don't play this shit anymore. If you want to catch me in a game with me, I'm gonna be playing Apex." And I was just scrolling Facebook one day, and I'm just all the time looking for new stuff, you know, because every time I play, I'm like, I'm done with this game. I'm deleting this shit.
Yeah.
This game's trash. I hate this fucking game. These guys need to get their shit together. And then, but I was just scrolling one day and I was watching the trailer and I was like, whoa, that looks pretty cool, you know. So
Yeah.
just wanted to check out. But yeah, Apex is another big one that a lot of people play. So.
Yeah, I played this a lot. I do this thing where, like, when my friends get on Xbox and they're really about a game, like our friend Jonah was playing this a lot, I become, like, obsessive about it. Because, like, I'll play with them and, like, I'll talk to them. Because I try not to leave the house if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll socialize that way. And then when they're not there, I'm like, I got to get good at this.
Yeah.
And, like, impress them or make them not yell at me anymore. It's
Yeah,
really
I'm the
what it
rager.
is.
Like
Yeah.
I have like probably 5 different squads, you know, throughout
Yeah.
different parts of
Yeah.
the day or whatever. Like I play with a guy from Canada. I got guys from all over, and they're all just super cool guys, and we just vibe good together, you know.
Yeah.
And like I suck, but I'm like a good navigator, I guess. Like I'm
Yeah.
a chess player, so I'm like strategy, you know. Like that's why I don't play multiplayer because it's just run and boom, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're doing Warzone, you have to be able to strategically be able to move and get through the like you understand.
Advance
for
Yeah.
sure.
all that stuff.
But
yeah.
some players though they don't want to just run and gun. They just want to attack. It's like,
Uh-huh.
dude, you're up against 4 people. Okay, so clearly common sense says strength by numbers is your best chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have the tryhards that want to go try to take out a whole squad. And I'm like, listen, Rambo, calm down. We'll do this together. So we have the 2 gunners that are like we'll have a sniper too, you know, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Just you know. Sorry for nerding out here, but
Yeah, we can switch it because we can probably just go on
Yeah,
about this.
You're fine.
yeah.
I at the time I kind of got out because at the time a lot of people I had gotten Xbox One and I still have that original
That's what
Xbox
I still play
One.
on.
Yeah, and funny story. It pissed my son off because we finally ran into a game that you have to have like a Series X for, and we didn't realize it when we bought it because we've still been randomly buying games here
Yeah.
and there, and they've all worked. But the new Dragon Ball Z game has to be Xbox Series X, and I think like I don't know if you guys have played that or if you're into fighting games, but or if you watch Dragon Ball at all, but the graphics and the processing in that thing are like
insane. Yeah,
like,
I like
I
games like
can't
that.
believe how much work they put into making it look a lot like you're actually in an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think that's it, is it?
No. Sparking Zero is the game, but I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell you just from the screenshots. That all looks like shit compared to.
Yeah, that's what I was
It's like
thinking.
what we have to do is we have to go over to Devin's and play because he has it and he has a
Oh, that looks
Series
cool.
X, so Simon was unbelievably heartbroken. So, but what I got Xbox One when it came out, and a lot of people went to like PS4 back then.
Yeah.
And so most of my friends didn't have Xbox, so I couldn't play with them. And then like when I go over and try to play PlayStation with them, by that time like, and I don't remember which Call of Duty it was everybody was playing in like 2011, 12, 13, somewhere in that time range. But it got so fast for me that like I just same like you guys are talking about like
Modern
you know what you're
Warfare 3.
doing, but
Yeah.
yeah, Modern Warfare 3 probably was it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would just die immediately, and I was
yeah.
just like, I can't. I'm too out of the loop now.
Now I'm getting nostalgic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not earlier when we were talking, but
Yeah.
now.
but it just the games were so fast for me. I could maybe kill
Yeah.
5 or 6
Like,
people
if
in a
you-
round, where everybody else is killing 40.
If you get bored one day and you just want to just be like, hey, what the hell? Let's check this out.
Yeah.
And you download it, play a game of Rebirth and see how long you last.
Oh my God!
I mean, before you die the first time.
Yeah. One thing I did notice, both of you, so you in a band, you DJing. One thing that I really like about the two of you talking about what you do in your free time is not doing anything that involves a lot of people or being in a bar.
No. And I love. Listen, I used to be an every night drinker, and it was fun for a long time.
Yeah.
I met a lot of really really cool people. I met some really really shitty people, and some in betweens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people that I could tolerate, when I'm out having a drink or two, but not somebody I would go hang out and have
Right.
lunch with somewhere.
Yeah.
But over time, when you just do it every single weekend, and that's all your life consists of, like my 13-year anniversary is this month, actually this weekend, you just can't do it all the time anymore.
Right.
It's not that I don't like people anymore. I just have met so many shitty people, and I'm just tired of the bar scene all the time. So I have the bars that I have. I love all of them. All my bar owners that I work with now are great. Katie and Doc here in town, Michelle up in Riverside, Matt and Jen up in Clarinda, a couple. Oh, and then like Mel down at Rulo Wild Hills. I love going down. If you guys get a chance sometime when I'm down there, that place is
Yeah,
so much
let
fun.
us
I love their
know.
food.
Their food
their
is
food's so
freaking
good.
great. Oh,
I
yeah.
have been to it, and I know everybody really loves it. I don't think I've ever actually been inside that place.
They have some great
ever.
Really?
drinks there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the things, like, when it lines up during the summer, like, when I get off on a Sunday or something, my fiance's not working, we'll go down there on a Sunday afternoon and have a couple of drinks.
Drinks.
get
Their
some
Bloody
food.
Marys are good too. Yeah, they got some pretty good Bloody
I'm not
Marys.
a big ketchup vodka person.
I got you.
Yeah.
You just gotta have the right one made for you.
Had some
get some of
okay
that
ones.
zing zang
Hey,
in
you
there.
can do tequila too. Okay, it doesn't have to be vodka.
That might make it better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the ketchup water.
Is it?
in
I get it.
for
I
me.
get
Little
it.
Clamato.
Yeah. Give me a Clamato
You
without
gotta get
the
some of
red
that hair
stuff.
of the dog in there.
I like the ketchup water. Yeah, that's so when you are really hungover, those actually help out a lot until you come all the way down off your hangover from that part.
Then not a lot helps, is my understanding.
It's
We'll do orange beers on the road, just orange juice and beers if we
Yeah.
need it. That
see, I'm
helps
a red
us.
beer drinker. I'm a big tomato-y guy. I like a lot of tomato.
Yeah.
But you guys want to hear something really weird though? So I love literally everything made out of tomatoes. I can open a can of tomatoes and eat them out of the can, but I cannot eat a fresh tomato.
What?
I swear. I've tried I've tried for years, and I
We've
still
got confirmation this is true,
Yeah.
and not understandable.
It's no, like
Why?
she still don't like. So we garden every year.
Yeah.
I've always done the whole gardening thing because I make fresh salsa. I can take
Do
fresh
that.
tomatoes, put the seasonings in it, and I can dip chips and eat that way.
So you're
But
a canner
I
too.
cannot take a bite out of a tomato. I can't slice it up, take a bite out of it, but I can throw it on a grill and steam it. Throw some garlic and some salt. and
What
pepper on
about
and
it
eat
don't you like?
I don't know if it's a texture or what, but
I usually can't either. However, I have here last year. There were some people like tomatoes did unbelievably well for the first time in a while. I feel like, and there were some that like instead of being like a reddish pink, they were literally bright red, and those I could eat. But I agree with you. I do like tomatoes pretty much for anything, but I generally don't like to cut them up and eat them the same way you do.
just can't do it. Not even
That's
on
crazy.
a sandwich. Even
Like a BLT
Yeah.
or
Can't even do
anything?
that either,
Holy
no.
moly,
But
that's crazy.
my dad got some. They had some at Daybreak, and they were just serving them like, do you just want some sliced tomatoes? And I was like, probably not. They're like, we'll just try them. They're good. And like I said, they pulled them out, and I looked at them, and I was like, they're so bright red. I'm gonna give it a shot. And they were like candy. Like it was delicious.
I've done that. Like it's crazy for me because I'll be like, my mouth will be salivating. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try this tomato.
Yeah.
Let's throw some salt and pepper on it. Oh, this is gonna be so good.
I don't generally
That's
like.
crazy.
I
That's
don't generally
crazy.
like the gut seeds part.
Yeah,
is why I
no.
don't like. So like I like them chunked and diced.
Yeah.
And then, but like a lot of tomatoes, especially when you pull them out of the garden, they have like like the very center. Like even when you slice them, the center of the slices are like hard sometimes.
Yeah.
So I always core that out for like my daughter loves tomatoes. She's a
Yeah.
tomato nerd
Yeah.
too.
Can she
But
eat them, bro?
She eats them raw.
Okay.
Yeah, super raw. But I'm just being dad. I always cut out the core of it, and I'm like, here you go, you can have it, baby.
Yeah. No, we've talked about that a lot though, where it doesn't take you too long of doing it a lot and getting serious about it. Where and I think did we have this conversation a little bit over Facebook maybe whenever I asked you to come down, but like we did come down. How long has it been since we were down there and hung out when he was right when this started? So it was about a year ago.
Yeah, because I was super pissed that night.
Yeah, and I just left him.
Yeah.
And-
I was there with my fiance and my sister.
Oh right, yeah. I forgot.
I had meetings to do Saturday. And I was like, I cannot go out late. Like, we can go till 10, but then we got to go.
I can relate. I have a
I-
wedding to DJ tomorrow.
I kept closing out the tab, and they were drinking like beers and stuff earlier, and then they started getting doubles, and I'd close out. I'd be like, Jesus fucking Christ, stop, we gotta go. And finally, like, right when they called last call, I was like, I'm gonna sit in the car. You guys can close this out. Like, I am so sick of being here, and it's not against you. Like, I just had to get
I
up
understand.
early. Yeah,
I understand completely.
Yeah, but Kiefer and I had that conversation like that night and among other times
Yeah.
where like it almost feels like you're at work when you don't need to be, even though we haven't played together in
Yeah.
whatever, basically 2.5 years
Probably.
now. Like when we go down there to that type of stuff, it just feels like you're at work for no reason, and I don't think you can ever. Part of me thinks that I don't know. I mean, there's so much of life that I haven't experienced, so I don't know. But at this point in time, I don't think I can ever feel like I'm just going to the bar to have fun.
Yeah.
Even whenever, like, sometimes we'll have, like, Christmas parties and stuff, and everybody will just get a wild hair up their ass because they already get somebody watching the kids. Like, let's go down to the bar for a little bit.
Right.
I still feel like I'm hanging out somewhere that, like, is a job to me.
Well, yeah, because you've done so much in that
In
in that,
that
in that
environment,
atmosphere in that industry. So yeah, just like and you can ask her like, we'll have days every once in a while where we're just, you know what, let's go hit some bars up. Like just, and I like the small town bars. I don't really like the city. I
You
don't
like
I
100
never,
Block?
I don't ever go downtown at all in Omaha.
Yeah.
Council
Oh,
Bluffs
Omaha.
though, I DJ'd. I did rodeo.
Yeah.
I started I really blew up at Hounds Lounge when it was Hounds Lounge. If you guys remember that.
Yep.
My DJing career actually started at Shenanigans, back when it was Shenanigans. I DJ'd O-Face.
Is that the place with all that shit on the wall?
That's probably O-Face, maybe.
No, it's a reference to Super Troopers.
Yeah. That's right.
Hey,
Yeah,
Farva, what's that
I was
place you
trying-
like with all the shit on the walls?
Shenanigans. That's right.
Yes.
Sorry. I forget you guys are old. And don't
Yeah,
have good
so that
memories.
was that's legitimately just my plea to say that's probably why I'm not coming tonight.
It's all right.
I'm just
See you
kidding.
later.
Maybe we'll hang out. Maybe we'll hang out for a little bit if we come down and help you set up. But
okay.
how are we doing on time? Oh,
Yeah, it's up there too. Oh, you can't see with the light.
my next question kind of
Wait,
Yeah.
before we get off.
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Yes.
What started you DJing?
Damn it. That's fine. That's good.
Was that your next question?
No, that's good. It wasn't exactly my next question.
All right. So
I'll allow it.
as
Okay.
you both already know, like I've done music for most of my life. I played guitar, I've sang, all that stuff. Been in bands. So I met a really cool guy named Casey Johnson. I actually named both my daughters after him.
Okay.
We jammed for a lot of years together. Well, about 2-3 years. It wasn't a whole lot of years. I got to know him, but we played a lot of guitar together, hung out. And he was actually DJ Shenanigans too. And so in meeting him and my kid's mom, we had like a big group of friends. And that was our nightly ritual. Every few nights or whatever, we'd go to Shenanigans, hang out, and Casey was the DJ. Well, Casey actually passed away of suicide. And one of the last things he said to me was, "I'm going to make you big, kid." And I was like, whatever, not thinking about it. And this guy looked like Lane Staley. I'll show you a picture of him sometime, but literally looks identical to Lane Staley. But
I'm not too sure you didn't possibly introduce me to him.
I think so. I
But
think so.
up at the Hounds, possibly.
Yeah, I think so,
Yeah.
actually.
So
But so I ended up becoming a DJ because of him. Really, we all went to Shenanigans after his thing or whatever. It was like a week after, and the owner, Mike Petrie, was like, "You want to hop up there and play some music for some drinks?" I'm like, "Why not?"
Yeah.
They're like, "You got some shoes to fill, Aaron." I'm like, "Whatever." So I went from getting some drinks for fun, for about 2 or 3 weeks, to making some money, to DJing several bars, to making just stupid money doing it, and made it, a career and life thing. out of it, so.
Was there anything like you said like you're doing it for drinks, then a little bit of money, then you kind of turned it into a career. Was there something along that way that like you saw or you were talking to somebody that you were like, oh shit, you can make a lot of money?
Yeah, so actually, I met a guy named Jesse Swanson. At first, we kind of butted heads because he booked me for a bar gig at a bar he was managing, and he told me not to be late, which I don't ever be late. But I got pulled over on the way there, and so I was late.
Yeah.
And so I got there, and he just started setting up his own stuff. He's like, "Oh, you're late, blah blah blah." So I was like, "Dude, that's a dick move." And I was like, "If you know me, I was like, I got pretty huffy at him, and I'm like, whatever, dude." But I stopped talking to him, and he contacts me like, I don't know, it's probably 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and we just started, talking.
Yeah.
I told him exactly how I felt about him, and he sent me some money for the night and kind of squared it up and was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, well, I get it, but that's a dick move.
Yeah.
And so, but he's one of the biggest, if you look up Chaos Productions out of Omaha, Nebraska, he's one of the biggest wedding DJs in the area. Him and then Shane Major is another huge influence on me. He's from SBC events, I think is what they call it now. But yeah, that's one of the ones that taught me what I know. That's Jesse right there. So he won Omaha Best of Omaha last year?
2020 maybe?
Okay, makes sense.
Well, yeah.
But he's, like I said, he's got some very high-end equipment.
Uh-oh.
Do you want me to?
You should
bully
never,
him?
ever tell him there's like a box where he can actually contact people.
Hey, jerk face.
Remember that time you fucked me over?
No, he did treat me pretty good for a while,
Yeah.
but it's just he's one of those guys that if you don't do it his way, it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that he's wrong in what he does, because clearly he's very successful at what he does.
Well, that whole wedding industry is nuts.
It is okay. When I tell you it's a dog-eat-dog world,
Yeah.
it gets real nasty. People say some really nasty things. I actually had some really cool DJs work for me, but they expected to get like the full pay, and I was doing the footwork, and it's like, whatever I'm getting for this is none of your concern. We agree on a price for you. I pay you very well.
You're right.
Don't shit on me. And I had a couple that tried to tarnish my name, and it's like, okay, so this is where this road stops. I wish you the best of luck,
Yeah.
but you can
Yeah.
kindly kiss my ass and bye. But I have some really cool ones now that do a lot of business with me, like DJ KLC out at Power 106.9 in Omaha. He does some stuff with me from time to time when he's free and available. Lee Taylor out of Clarinda. He's Papa Taylor.
Taylor?
Papa Taylor. He's cool though. He's really cool. He does a lot of shows at the Into Clear up there in Clarinda. He's a good guy though. Really good guy. Just got into the industry not that long ago, but he's hungry, so he's doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been a fun time, been a fun ride, and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
Hell
Yeah.
I just had to. Sometimes when you do something for so long, sometimes you get burnt out on it. And the whole bar scene. I just had to take a step back. So, I've taken about 3 weeks, or I mean, it's been about 3 weeks or a month since I've been down here. Took some time for myself, and I do that every once in a while because you just kind of gotta and not get when you don't get to enjoy your weekends ever.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
like
No, you
kids,
gotta
my
work
kids
on
are
the
in
weekend,
school,
yeah.
and then on the weekends is their time with me, and then when I'm, you know, dad's doing this every weekend, you know, they don't get much time.
Yeah.
But,
And
and,
so-
fuck holidays too.
Yeah, and holidays are
regularly. Yep.
stupid busy, stupid busy all the time.
Yeah, so it's kind of back to one of my questions that I was gonna expand on. So, do you like? This is gonna be a weird question, and I don't mean it, but do you still have some drinks whenever you are DJing at night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually haven't drank in over 2 months though. I'm just kind of like when I'm at the bar, I'm like, I don't want to feel like shit tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like when you hit this age, man, I swear, and I still try. I'm like, because when I'm drinking, man, I'm not there to drink beer and get full.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not there to tease my taste buds. You know, I'm
Right.
taking shots. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have a good time. I'm gonna enjoy my shots. I'm gonna drink until I've got the buzz that I want for the night.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go a little further than that, but
Well, it got for like, particularly, and this is no offense to the rest of the guys, and not even including Kiefer.
I feel like you're about to attack me right now.
Yeah. But like for Dustin and I, it got to where we couldn't even get drunk if we wanted to. I mean, we would literally have to pound
Yep.
stuff maybe on breaks or maybe as soon as we got done.
Mm-hmm.
But there was always so much work to do that like you're sweating it out.
Yeah.
You can't drink fast enough. You can't drink enough.
Yep.
You can't, so like very early on, we were very much just all getting shit faced
Yep.
and playing, which we figured out very quickly. Like we're not doing a good job.
But the bad thing about here's
And you have to do a good job to keep getting
exactly
hired.
you have to do a good job. But see,
And then once you keep getting hired, then you can't get drunk
Yeah.
because you're so goddamn busy.
yeah, and
You know?
but that's when you know you're doing good at what you do though.
A couple of you can. That's my point.
Yeah.
Because some people, a lot of people can
Yeah.
maintain doing that though.
It's gotta be tougher for a DJ because it's literally you and
You.
usually one other person.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
I'm the
Yeah.
spotlight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like the cool thing about my lady though is she, like I said, she's my rock. I got a super shitty back, and so she helps me out a lot.
Mhm. I could tell by the way you were sitting in the.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I bet. Yeah, the corn cob, right? No,
Yeah.
no, she helps me out a lot, man. And like,
Not in the city anymore.
if I'm if I'm having to run and do some stuff at the bars itself, or if I'm like when we're at weddings, I do like what's called the shoe game, or if I get out and do and like interact with the kids, do like Baby Shark and like the chicken dance, and get like the grown folks to come out, and dance with them and shit. She'll be back there to push the button for me, and when I'm on the microphone out there
Yeah.
doing that. And she does a great job. When I first got with her, she was super shy, wasn't a bar person, she was a hermit, for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And now she went from that to, well, you guys know my personality for the most part.
Right.
I'm super.
You're rubbing off.
Just
Yeah.
just one of those people that'd rather like not be in front of the lights, just
Yep.
sit alone
Yep.
in a chair and
Absolutely.
stare at us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird right now?
Yeah.
You
Well,
feel-
she's been gesturing.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
Every time he looks away, she goes.
I know, man. She likes to talk a lot of shit, but
Lot
she
of
keeps
gang
me in line.
signs.
But no, but when I have done it by myself, which I've done for years and years and years, just having her there is very helpful. But when you do it by yourself, yeah, you slip up once, you fuck up once. It's your name on the line,
Yeah.
And like I said, as in the DJ world, it's just there's not a lot of room for failure, because if I burned myself at multiple bars from doing that silly shit, So you learn, and you can either learn the right way or you can not learn, and then you're done.
you're done. You're not working.
You're done.
Yeah.
If you look how many DJs, or look at the, how long DJs stay in business, a lot of them. I mean, it's a fairly easy job, but it's more of a mental thing.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to work your crowd and kind of read your crowd and take care of your bartenders. And, like the weddings, you got to keep your brides happy, because let me tell you, if you have a bridezilla, if you go down and read some of my reviews, I got a couple from some very pissed off brides that were just absolutely
Right.
hard to work with.
Yeah, and you really at those types of events. I mean, you really like you said, you really are putting on a show. We have been asked occasionally to do a wedding or two for like close friends that like their budget's pretty tight.
Right.
And we for what we're doing, and I'm not like we're not on your level of DJing all the time, but like we step into that pretty easy because there's really no different than working the crowd whenever we were on stage.
Because you know how to read the crowd, though.
Right.
And that's something you got to have, though. And you can have, and this is why I've told the DJs that I've helped, get going. Is if you can't read the crowd and you got to have a personality. Anybody can sit behind a laptop and play music.
Yes.
But if you can't work your crowd or interact with your crowd in some way, then you shouldn't be doing it because
Right.
I mean every bar has a jukebox.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cheaper. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I'm not saying I haven't had my moments where I've just been kind of a dull DJ. I've been doing it for a long time, and sometimes we all have that shitty day at work, right? Where you're just like
days at
you're
work,
just like shit. Okay, I played this once, it worked out. Okay, everybody's coming over to. Okay, I got this. But
Yeah.
you can't do that every time. You can't hardly at all. If you got to be able to interact. You got to keep people going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think at the core of what you're saying is, even if you're a DJ, you're a part of the entertainment.
absolutely
Correct. Yeah.
Business.
You're
That's why my
entertainer.
business
gotta be
name is AC Entertainment. But
Yeah.
I don't just DJ anymore though. I got comedians now. I've got one man bands. I got other
Yeah.
bands that I work with and shit like that. I'm trying to broaden the horizon. That's why it's
Please.
AC Entertainment. You know what I mean?
Please tell me you book somebody that
No, I don't
gets
have
on-
strippers yet.
that gets on stage with like the bass drum on their back and like the cymbals.
No, but he should be trying to get in with the polka police.
Yeah.
Oh
They're
Have
man,
you looked those
expensive.
guys up? Do you know who they are?
I've heard of them.
Oh my good God, Aaron! They're expensive. He's right, but you would
pretty sure.
if you could just get into booking with them. I mean, you don't have to do shit. These guys are amazing.
What is crazy about polka is a lot of weddings.
Yeah.
A lot of weddings they want like the polka dances.
Well,
Yeah.
these dudes. I mean, it's polka, but it's literally they're playing Twisted Sister and they're playing.
They have their own personality.
Yeah.
And you got to see that's why they're doing
Yeah,
well.
Twisted Sister right now.
Yep.
But that's why they're doing well because they have that personality right there, and that's great.
Yeah, we've played with them a time or two.
Really?
Yeah, they were at Rockport at least 1 or 2 years, and then it seems like we ended up somewhere where they were either in Lincoln or Omaha one time too. But no, you get like the couple that we've done, and people are like, well, you're really good at this. Like, yeah, I did this for years.
Yeah.
Like, it's no different. Yes, I'm not up here playing the instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, but in
Physically, bands are a lot. There's a lot more to it when you're in band.
yeah.
It's just DJing is just a lot more mental because you can put an auto list together, but
Right.
you gotta keep your people happy. If
Right.
you don't keep your people happy, they're leaving and they're costing. You're costing the bar money.
Yes.
And when the bar's not making the money to pay you, so they want to make they want to cover their overhead and they want to
Yeah.
profit off of you.
Right.
It's not a situation of we covered what we owed Aaron, we're good. No,
Mm-hmm.
the whole concept is they want to make money and then make more money off of
Right.
rather than just covering the pay. Do the
Yep.
overhead. So
Yep. And you've got to judge your crowd. Do you even notice, like, coming here, is it pretty much what to play to make everybody happy? Or do you literally get different nights where you can tell it's people like us or people that are more into country or people?
It depends on the nights. For the most part, I pretty much have a very similar, the same karaoke crowd, and I
Yeah.
pretty much know what they like, as
Yeah.
far as the music goes. And then I've got, it's all digital now. So I've got a lot of their list already in my laptop. So I usually have what they want. But, when you have new faces and you see new faces, I usually walk, and if you see me at the bar shows, I usually try to walk around and talk to as many people as I can to interact with them right there, because once you're engaged, they want to stick around. They're like, okay, I appreciate you, which I do appreciate everybody that does come see me.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, I say, look, I don't know if you're here because you're just a regular here or if you're here to see my show or, my gig for the night, but I appreciate you. A lot of people like coming to me, seeing me for their birthdays because I got my signature asshole birthday shot that I do for them, which it's called the Stoplight. You have to try it sometime. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it knocks them on their asses.
What is it?
So it's 3 shot glasses. The first one is Cherry V. The second one is Jose Cuervo, and then the last one is Apple Pucker.
Oh,
So you start,
yummy.
and you can even up the ante and do like a Rumplemintz at the very end if you want to. I've done that to the guys. They're like, "Oh, that ain't nothing. I can handle that." And I'm like, "Okay." I've literally watched a tiny ass girl take this shot and keeps going, does fine. And then she'll bring her old man in like a month or two later, who was the cocky one. Oh, that ain't nothing. He takes the shot, and 15 minutes later, he's in the bathroom throwing up, and they got to carry his ass out of the bar. So I've seen a lot of funny shit in the bar.
It'd probably make me do that just smelling it these days.
Yeah, I'm a Crown drinker, but I usually do double shots of Crown, and so throughout the entire night, everybody's always like, "Are you even drinking?" Because I'll just sit there and sip on like a Coke or a Pepsi or whatever.
Yeah.
But every time the bar owners usually bring me a shot or
Yeah.
actually go grab me a shot. But I'm always doing shots throughout the nights. Other than the last couple months, like I said, I've been just kind of not feeling the drinking thing, which I kind of detox my body about once a year. And it's just that time for me, I guess. So.
Yeah, I famously or infamously, however you want to look at it, I think it pisses Kiefer off, but I, for the most part, swore off shots at around 27. And everybody, you want shots? No. Occasionally, we were still playing, and you'd get fucked into doing it because you're on stage and somebody brings an entire tray, and you don't want to be a dick.
Yeah.
So I would take them, but for the most part, I haven't.
See, for me, it's a lot of people like to buy those fucking bomb shots, which has got energy drinks in them, and I can't do energy drinks.
No.
I've never had one. I don't drink them. I don't like them. I don't like the taste of them.
Yeah.
I just don't.
They're the tomatoes of the liquid world for you.
Facts. And so, and that's the thing that because they're cheap. So a lot of people are like, hey, let's do some, whatever the Bob Marley's or whatever the hell, Chuck Norris.
Chuck
Chuck
Norris's, yeah.
So I'm like,
Vegas
oh
bombs.
man, I appreciate it, but I don't do energy drinks. I'll take a shot of Crown though.
Yeah. Or what was the thing? One night we got some the stuff that has peanut in it.
Screwball.
Oh, that screwball shit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm allergic to peanut
This
butter.
dickweed, we get ready, we take him, we get ready to start a song, and I don't remember what song it was, but he just walks up to me and goes, "Hey, I tasted peanut in that shot." And I go,
No, my throat was getting
That's
all
right.
scratchy and swollen.
I go, yeah. He goes, "My throat's starting to swell up."
Oh no.
And I was like, and he goes, "I may not be able to sing the rest of the night." And I just looked at him, and like Dustin's bringing us in, and I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this information?
So you guys are like mid-show at this point?
Oh yeah, well we were probably 3/4 through basically. But everybody was getting rowdy. It was like at the time we needed to be really on.
Yeah, I was like 20 because this was like right after the picture of me with the exes.
Schubert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like 20 and I was just like, throat started to swell up and I started thinking and I didn't know what to do. I was like, hey, Ethan, I don't know what to do right now.
And Ethan's like, oh God, okay, number one, our show could be fucked. And number two, my buddy here might have to go to the ER.
I know there was
Oh, he
one,
didn't care about me.
there was one. No, yeah, when we're working, we're working.
Oh yeah, facts.
You know, if you make mistakes, you've made mistakes.
Facts.
But I remember we had to sing quite a bit of My Own Worst Enemy at one point because he was pretty well shot at that point.
Yeah,
I mean, he got
singing that
through it
song.
and he
It's a
didn't
fun
have
one.
going anaphylactic shock.
Well, I ended up finding, I think, Benadryl and just taking like 5 of them.
Yeah.
You didn't have an EpiPen with you?
No, I don't ever carry one.
Oh man.
I mean, how
that.
often is he going to fall into a barrel of peanuts?
Well,
Yeah.
he
And
kind of
like,
fell into a shot of peanut butter whiskey.
it was Justin Pancaw that gave it to us.
It was.
And like,
I DJ'd his wedding.
I didn't really know like the smell or
Notorious
the
for that.
taste because I haven't ever had it
Right.
since I
Well,
was,
and
like,
that's
young.
new though. There's not a lot of whiskeys out there that are peanut butter flavor.
Yeah.
Peanut
Yeah.
flavor. Yeah, it's peanut butter. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah. It was just unreal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sing.
That's wild, man. That's wild.
It's like, we're like starting the song right now. Like,
And he's saying that to you. Oh shit.
no, he sang that one.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
one
okay.
wasn't a problem. I can't.
It was a couple songs. where-
Largely, we got through it, but that might also been the night you were letting other people sing Shania Twain, and and Dustin got so fucking pissed off because they couldn't keep time, and you weren't helping them keep time, and so like it was just
We threw that song in that week, and I was like, I can't figure. That's a thing bands do. They throw songs in without like too quickly.
You want to know the biggest reason why I stopped playing in bands?
why's that?
Because I could not, for the life of me, find a drummer that could keep time. That could keep
It's
a
unbelievably hard.
Like, and people don't understand that. So number one, the biggest problem is nobody wanted to show up for practice, but they
Yeah,
wanted
that
to book
is
shows.
tough. Yeah.
Then when we would
We
do
actually had
practice,
better luck with practice
Than
and less
shows.
with booking shows
when we
at the end of it.
when we were doing the like any song, like the simplest songs, like I don't even know right now, but you couldn't keep time. You could not keep a beat. Which, the other part is the bass. The bass helped a lot, but I was just like, all right, I'm over it. So the only thing I would do is like my buddy Brian Lidgett, who is a phenomenal musician. If you ever get a chance to check him out, he is flawless, dude. He's got like so he switched over into country, but he's got an amazing like reggae tongue. Like he can roll his
Yeah.
tongue like phenomenally. He plays great, and he's just super good. And then Mikey Dean's another good friend of mine. He's country, but he's like he played in a metal band, but he does country solo stuff on the side. And he's probably like he should be in Nashville.
Yeah.
Like he's just that damn good. It's just like you hear him play and you like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's just he's unbelievably good.
Fair.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, like, is there one that you prefer over the other, or do you ever wish that you were doing band versus DJing, or do you just view them as two completely different things? That
They
you
are two
enjoy
different
both?
animals. I love music. I still I've had a guitar for a while. My son snapped my guitar. We went camping a couple years ago, a year ago, whatever. And my son, I told him to sit in the tent because we were gonna play. I was gonna play that night for him, and my son stepped on the tent and the side of the tent and completely snapped the neck. And I'm like, "Yep, okay, I'm not buying another one." So, but she's over here just like a week ago, and she's like, "Hey, babe, you should get a new guitar." I'm like, I don't really. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never really been super great at guitar. Like I'm like a rhythm player.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been a vocal guy, but I mean, I
Yeah.
can play rhythm and
Yeah.
you know, sing at the same time. I mean, but as far as like solo stuff, I mean, I can't play, I can't be lead at all.
Right,
any music
yeah.
I would do by myself would all be like rhythm stuff. So that's why I'm okay doing like the 2-man shows with a buddy, you know.
Yeah.
But a full band is just too much work anymore.
Yeah.
It is
It's a lot of
literally, it's so much work, and nobody wants to put the effort into it. You know, you can't go to practice once every week or two and expect to make it progress because, you know, and not only that, but then people just want to get drunk the whole time we're at practice, or they want to get stoned the whole time, and you just don't get anything productive done. And it's just, that's the problems I've ran into, and I'm like, okay, so not happening. But
Yeah.
like the DJing thing, it's the only person I get pissed off is myself. You know, if I'm fucking something up, I'm the one doing it. You know, any of my helpers that help me, I always tell them, I'm like, okay, so this is how I do it. This is how things are going. They're like, all right. And I have my ways, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's been a fun ride for sure. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Actually got a really huge event coming up on April 5th. I hope you guys can come to that. That'll be cool.
Okay.
What is
It's
it?
an adult prom. I'm doing it at the
Oh
community
yeah, I've
building.
seen some. I've seen you posting about
It's
this. Yeah.
it's a masquerade ball.
It's for who's putting this thing on?
It's a
It's just
nonprofit,
me.
right?
I'm the one putting it together.
You're doing it. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is all me. I'm just putting it together because it's Tarkio, man. What is there to do in Tarkio?
Yeah.
What is there to do in Rockport?
Yeah.
Burlington Junction, Fairfax, Craig. Is there anything to do? You got to
Yeah.
travel far to have something fun to do. I mean, even the bars, and I know this because I DJ 90% of the bars within a 100-mile radius of where you guys live out here.
Yep.
Nobody's doing anything other than the typical karaoke shit, which is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, don't get me wrong. You got to have drinks. You got a DJ to play mostly what you want. You can sing and try to be a rock star or whatever, or be a rock star. I'm trying to switch it up. It's not a bar scene. You can drink if you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing $10 for solos, $15 for doubles. And it's just you want to dress, have fun with it,
Yeah.
dress the theme.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a fun time. I'm trying to put some games together. I'm trying to put a little photo booth together too.
Nice.
The whole punch thing. And just some people didn't get to go to prom when they were in high school. Some people missed out on that. Some
Yeah.
people had a really shitty experience at prom.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, let them have that fun again. So,
I went to 3 of them and said I'd never go to another one, but
yeah, well, this one's going to be one you're not going to want to miss. I promise that.
Well-
like when I say it's going to be a banger and a memory that you're not going to want to forget, it's definitely going to be good. And if it's a good turnout, I'm going to try to do it annually for everybody down here too.
Yeah.
When is it?
Better bring
Where
your
is
emo
it? And what
playlist.
time
Yeah,
again?
we can definitely work something out. I plan on starting it off with Deftones Change, if that
Oh,
tells you
wow.
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a masquerade ball. I mean, it's supposed to be like the mystery.
yeah.
Deftones, what? Do you want a bunch of 60-year-olds there?
Oh, man. Deftones are great, man.
Yeah.
No, so it's April 5th, though. It's a Saturday. The doors open at 7:30. The dance starts at 8, and I'm going to be playing until midnight
Okay.
Where at?
at the community building here in town.
In town.
So, but yeah, dress. I would hope everybody would want to dress. I mean, everybody else that I know that are planning on attending are all getting their dresses, ordered and tuxes or suits or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go expensive, man. There's thrift stores everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, they're everywhere, and I literally was just at a thrift. My lady likes to thrift shop, so I'm always getting,
Yeah.
thrown in the mix half the time. And I just looked at an entire suit that was like for a total of $20, and it was nice. It was a super nice suit for $20. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not hard to do. So
Yeah. So we did that several times. Just like that's how we would get our stuff for our music videos.
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
would wear. And like we never had a trouble finding nice
No.
shit for really cheap. It's
Yeah.
just whether it fit you or
Hey,
not.
that's-
We found a
was the
wedding
exactly.
dress.
Huh?
We found a wedding dress.
Yeah.
That was actually kind
Yes.
of nice.
It was nice. And like Dustin found like a really nice suit. And
Yeah.
he tried so hard to squeeze himself into all that.
Oh, yeah.
And like he could get into it, but he couldn't move. Like he
Was it comfortable?
stuck.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was gonna rip.
Ah.
Like he's
I
like,
would've-
this is so annoying. Like this is such a nice suit.
That would have
you
been
know?
funny to see.
it
How's
was
Dustin
pretty
doing
good.
now?
Well,
Is
We
he
don't-
still out like in the middle of the ocean somewhere?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to him for quite a while last Friday, actually. Jesus, hard to believe it's been a week. And I don't think he'll get mad at me. I don't even think he listens, so it doesn't matter. I don't think that he would be upset at my analysis, but for the most part, they enjoy it. They do go through spells where they miss everybody, and
Well, I mean,
they
that's a
kind of
huge
miss.
difference. That's a
Yeah.
huge difference being in Tarkio, Missouri, to being in Puerto Rico, which is
Yeah.
just it's almost a whole other planet out there.
It-
You know what
well,
I'm saying? It's just it's so different.
It's insanely different.
Yeah.
Being around where you know everybody than being plopped into a place where you don't know anybody
Yeah.
and they're speaking a different language
Yeah.
is crazy.
And they, things are just not like. I mean, I don't even know if we have enough time to get into it, but just things like going to the DMV to get your driver's license
Well, yeah.
renewed is not easy down there.
I bet
You know
not.
what I mean?
I mean, it's a pain in the ass to do in the United States. I can only imagine what it's like to do in Puerto Rico.
well, down there they just kind of don't really give a shit. They're
Oh,
all
really?
on kind of their own timetable, so like
All right.
you might show up at the DMV and there might be somebody there, there might not be. Sometimes the stuff that they want you to bring with you isn't the same every time. He
Oh,
was
shit.
telling me.
That would be a super pain in the
Just
ass.
just weird stuff like that, Like when we went down and visited him, for instance, there was a restaurant that said it opened up for lunch at I think 11:30 or something. We got there at 11:30, weren't open. There was a bunch of shops, so we walked around for an hour.
Oh,
like
shit.
at 12:22, she finally came down and opened up the thing.
And- wow.
You know what I mean? They just it's just a completely different
Whatever they want
philosophy and state of mind, and you're on an island and everything runs on island time, so it's not the straightforward United States, what you want is here now.
Of course, yeah.
And I should say continental 48.
Well, yeah,
but
yeah.
because obviously Hawaii would be largely similar, and I don't really know about Alaska.
Yeah, I have a buddy that I game with that I talk to all the time about Hawaii and like their delicacies and their foods that they're eating, and it just shoot the shit,
Yep.
So it's definitely sounds a whole lot different, just even
Yep.
being in Hawaii. So I just that's why I said when he was talking
Yeah.
about Puerto Rico, that's just like a whole other planet.
Yep. Yeah, he likes it. But like I said, there are times that he does miss certain things that are here and certain people that are here.
So that back to my point earlier, like I said, it's really cool to see people from my hometown that go and they do go out and do something, with their life and stuff like that, other than just. And it's not, like I said, it's not bad to stick around here. Like we need our farmers, we need our pharmacists, we need our bankers, we need our people that stick
Yeah.
around here to keep Tarkio.
Right.
That's why that's one of the reasons why when I come back home to Tarkio, I see those faces. So, but just seeing and knowing that people are out there coming from our, my hometown doing amazing things like that, that's just super cool. I love that. So,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was unbelievably privileged in doing the wind turbine thing. I got to travel a lot
Yeah.
to go help other sites, and they're very similar to us, where they're generally outside of a city, and generally in a rural area where you're an hour and a half from a major city.
yeah.
So like I really got to go places that were similar to our lifestyle, anywhere from like 1,500 to maybe like 10,000 people towns that were
So
in
Tarkio,
between large
Shenandoah,
cities.
right
Yeah.
about Berryville or whatever.
So like real places you would live. And I was really fortunate to do that, like Texas, Iowa, Minnesota. I mean, we visited California for other reasons, but there are like two places that I ever went that I thought maybe.
Yeah.
But almost every time, it's like, I'm
not
going to
home.
do the same shit there that I'm going to do here,
Exactly.
except for I know everybody here, my
Yep.
family's here,
Yep.
so
And
just-
even like the cities, like you're like, okay, I know what I can get up at Council Bluffs or Omaha or St. Joe, Kansas City, Maryville. I can navigate those areas. You
Yep.
move to a whole new state like Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to just Dallas by itself.
Uh-huh.
How many freaking
Oh my God, driving
suburbs?
through Dallas.
Like I went down there like, I don't know, probably 8-10 years ago. My buddy was he was living in the colony on the, I think it's the north side, wherever that, how they have that new Nebraska Furniture Mart down there that's like super freaking huge. So he helped build that or helped
Okay.
like get it up and going.
Yeah.
They paid him to go down there and live down there in the colony or whatever. And we went from there to Galveston. So I got to drive through Dallas during rush hour.
Yep.
Through
That's
Houston.
fucking terrible.
Through Houston. Okay.
Houston's rough too.
Houston's like 30 freaking lanes wide, by the way. We get stuck in a traffic jam. I'm a bottle of fucking Crown Deep, and well, I don't know if you know how crazy I am, but my buddy and I are talking shit back and forth, and I decided to streak. Like a dumbass. and it's I'm talking bumper to bumper traffic.
Yeah.
And yeah, they locked me out of the fucking car.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was funny as hell. I've never seen so many cameras out there.
The thing that drives me insane about, like, I mean, Houston, but even large cities, but Houston in particular, you can drive an hour and 40 minutes and still be in Houston.
Yeah, and be literally
insane.
like you haven't made it anywhere.
Where? Yeah.
It's super, and not only that, but like the distance of, so down in that area, it's like a real barren area. Like the terrain is real barren. And from the outskirts of Dallas, when you finally run out of the lights to you can almost see the lights of Houston. And they're like forever, like it's quite a bit distance, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, they're so big, they're so heavily populated, and it's terrible down there. Like the driving is, God, it's horrible.
Rough.
They have this big ass,
with the
you know
trailer.
that big huge bridge down there. It's like an overpass or something that just seemed like you never were gonna get to the top of. It's like you're up at the top of the Eiffel Tower. It's like it's way up there. You look down and you just don't want to look down because it's scary shit.
Yeah, I
So-
don't remember if we went over that or not. I remember like driving through Houston both times that we were driving through it, and Dustin did a lot of it. I had to do some of it on the way out, but even as a passenger up front, like with him, it was just kind of like, oh my God, we have to pay a shit load of attention to
Oh
what
yeah,
we're doing.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
drive crazy down there.
yeah.
It's like Omaha traffic, Kansas City traffic. It gets chaotic. Don't get me wrong.
But yeah.
But when you're driving with literally 20 lanes of traffic with people who half the time really don't give a shit because they want to get to where they're wanting to go, and they drive this on a daily. They're used to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas to us, we're not.
Yeah.
So it gets pretty
Well, when I first
nerve-wracking for
spent
sure.
extended time in Texas, it was between Wichita Falls and Dallas. Graham was the town that we were in, about 3,500 people, and the wind farm was outside of Graham, like outside of like Jacksboro. And they down there, the thing that is insane is like their state highways, like ours, they drive 75 or 80 on. And then they use the shoulder like a passing lane.
Yeah.
And like when we all first got down there, like they would bring us down there. They'd take us to the site, and it would usually be evening or night because you'd fly in, stop and eat, and then you get down there. It'd be almost dark, and they would literally drive about 55, 60 on the gravel, like our county roads,
Jesus Christ.
everywhere. And then you would get on the blacktop, and they would just drive 75 or 80. And they would just drive like that because it was natural for them. And we finally told them, like, if you guys are going to do that, just go ahead. We can't follow you.
We'll meet you
Yeah.
there. We'll meet you there tomorrow.
We'll just figure it out on GPS or something because you're doing us zero favors. First of all, we can't see because it's dusty.
Yeah.
And then by the time we can see, you're flying so fucking fast around windy-ass corners and stuff out here.
Yeah, we want to make it there safely. Not make it there.
I remember them. So I experienced that a lot before ever getting to like Houston. Now we went through Dallas a few times, so I was kind of prepared. But when we went through Houston, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! It's just like what we did in the country on steroids and 20 lanes of traffic. Like you were
it's
talking
crazy,
about.
dude.
It's like
And
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
The bars are crazy down there too. Like wild.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but it is.
It is
almost
808.
Yeah, I know. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but I got to go do my job
Yes.
now.
Listen, I appreciate you coming to do this because I knew it was going to be great content. I want
easy.
you to come back on,
So, hey, anytime, man.
and at some point, I want to hash it out. Chiefs to Broncos fan.
It's going down, Kiefer.
For
Are you
the-
ready for it?
For the entertainment of the fine people listening.
You're gonna. Hey, how strong are your arms? Can you hold 215 on this side and whatever he weighs on that side? Because it's going down. No.
I don't think you saw what I was doing.
Yeah, I know. I know
No.
what you're always thinking.
It'll be a good time. It'll be a fun time. Yeah, I'm always
Yeah.
down for it. Anytime you guys want to invite me down, if I got time to do it, I'd love to.
Yep,
Cool, appreciate
we'll
it.
holler at you. Well, we can sometimes, like for football though, when we're covering that regularly, Tim zooms in, so we could Zoom.
Okay.
That's not a problem either, and
Hell
we can
yeah.
work on that. But I definitely want to bring you on to chat football at some point.
Yeah, we could even do like. Do you guys just do like a weekly thing then? Or?
We did during the season, but we're not now.
Yeah, when the season starts up, man,
yeah.
let me know. And I'll just hop on with you weekly or every couple weeks or something if you want. I'm definitely down.
We're talking about doing maybe once a month just to catch up on news, and
Right.
maybe if you have time, we'll.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever. I live a pretty boring life now. The older you get, the more exciting that is. I
as do
I
I.
literally get excited for my bed, like
Yeah.
all the
Yes,
time.
As do I.
That's my favorite.
I like to pass out on the couch for a little bit first, and then move to bed.
Mine's my gaming
Get
chair
that sleepitizer.
right in front of my TV, and then I just make my way back to my bed. So those are my two favorite places in my
Yeah,
house: is
yeah.
my gaming chair or my bed.
It's insane. Well, hey man, I appreciate it. Like I said,
No
we
problem.
might actually throw this out on Monday. I don't know. I'll let you know. But
Yeah, just shoot me a message, let me know, and yeah, thank you guys for having me.
you bet. Thanks for coming down. Good luck tonight too.
Hey, I'll try to have a good time.